What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm joined by Tyler. We are back for another video in our Pirates of the Caribbean community series, and boy, do we have a video for you today. So, last time we talked a little bit more about the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. We went over Tyler's opinions on it and what he thought about it, because we didn't get his view on it when all this news was breaking that, Pirates is getting rebooted. Pirates is coming back without Johnny Depp. So we did that last video, and we got quite the response in terms of comments and a lot of negativity of, this cannot be done without Johnny Depp. A lot of denial, which is again something that I talked about in those breaking news videos, that I felt like a lot of people weren't going to believe it. But we want to talk in this video and pose the question that the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot will be better without Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. So it would be better to not have Jack Sparrow. And you may be thinking that this is a crazy idea. It may seem like it's the unpopular opinion of the day compared to your comments, but we have a lot of things to back us up. Tyler's going to go over some of the things that, can be used as evidence to point to, hey, we don't need Jack Sparrow to have a good Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So, Tyler, again, like we said, and we could read off a couple of comments, all the comments had the same theme. A lot of people, saying it cannot be done. And that's what people said at the end of Pirates 5, too. When, as this community series was blowing up, a lot of people said, Jack Sparrow is the bloodline of Pirates. It cannot be continued. It can't be rebooted without Jack Sparrow or Johnny Depp. And so what's, how can this actually go right? And why do we think it could go right if Jack Sparrow is not attached to it?
Well, so what I'll point to first, now, again, obviously this is our opinion, and then you guys can have your own opinion. That we're not arguing with opinions, but we just want you to kind of understand at least where we're coming from, Alex and I, but also the people who think that a reboot without Jack Sparrow is a good idea. Because I just want you guys to understand it, because some of you are literally say, if Johnny Depp or if Jack Sparrow's not in it, then the franchise is dead. And that just simply isn't, it's not true. You can think that, but it just isn't true. And we have quite a bit of evidence, actually, if we look at it. You may or may not know about The Walking Dead. It's a zombie TV show. Used to do very, very well. Lately, the ratings are just pretty good. However, so recently, literally almost like a week ago, or 2 weeks ago at this time, the main character, Rick Grimes, he left the show. He didn't die, but he left the show. So he's no longer on the show. And I myself said, Rick Grimes is the heart of the show. He is The Walking Dead. I don't understand how you can have The Walking Dead without Rick. That's what I was thinking. And then the last episode that was on was, the first one without Rick Grimes, and I actually really, really enjoyed it a lot. In fact, I enjoyed it so much that I now believe that having Rick Grimes not on the show, who was my favorite character, he was my favorite character, by a lot. So for me to say I really enjoyed it is pretty good. On top of that, to say what I'm about to say, and that is, I actually think it's going to be a better show now without Rick Grimes. That's saying something after removing the main character. So that's example one. But another big example would be the Marvel movies. After Avengers 4 comes out, very likely Captain America, Chris Evans, will not be in the Marvel movies anymore. It's very likely that Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, won't be in the movies anymore, along with a handful of other characters. I think Chris Hemsworth will still be around just for a little bit longer, but there's quite a few characters that won't be in the Marvel movies anymore. I love Captain America. I love Iron Man. I love those characters. I really like the actors too. I will still go see Marvel movies. I will never say, well, the Marvel movies died when they took Captain America out, because he's the heart. He might be the heart, but it doesn't matter, because it doesn't mean it's kind of being not selfish, but almost biased to be able to say, well, if they remove this one character, that kills the entire universe. No, it doesn't. I'm still going to go watch the Marvel movies because I enjoy what they do. because it's not just about one character. It's about the entire overarching the story, the message, or whatever it is. How they, maybe the fight scenes or whatever it is for you, or for me. I will go see every Marvel movie, other than Black Widow, because I enjoy Marvel. I don't enjoy Captain America. I don't just show up to all these Marvel movies because Captain America's in it. So it's really no different than with Jack Sparrow. Another example for video game people, the most recent one, Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. The character from the first Red Dead Redemption, he's sort of in it, but not really in the second game. That character, his name was John Marston. He was one of my favorite video game characters. Wasn't too happy that he wasn't in this one, or to be playable as from the start in this one. But I started to play it, and I actually really like this new character. So I didn't tell myself that Red Dead Redemption 2, the whole franchise, they can make 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many they're going to make, but I would never say, well, John Marston's not in it, so the whole thing's dead. You can do that with so many different things. You could say, oh, Luke Skywalker's dead, Star Wars is dead. You can do it with so many things. It just doesn't make sense. It honestly doesn't make sense. But the most important thing for you guys to really see or understand is, because some of you make like Jack Sparrow's the main, like he's the main centerpiece, he's the thing that drives these movies. He just isn't. If we look at Curse of the Black Pearl, that movie was mainly about Will Turner. If we look at Dead Man's Chest, that was mainly about Will again. Well, kind of Will and his father dynamic. It was about Elizabeth becoming more like a pirate. And it was also about Davy Jones and all that in the East Indian Trading Company. Really wasn't about Jack at all. The third movie, At World's End, was mainly an Elizabeth story. The fourth movie, that we don't talk about, but it's called On Stranger Tides, I believe, and that's a Blackbeard and Angelica story. And the fifth and final movie, Dead Men Tell No Tales, was like 95% about Barbossa and Karina. The other part is about Henry trying to save his father. You could actually have all of that happen without Jack. Jack helps. Jack moves the story forward. I always say that. Jack lays the path for all the other characters to go down. That's it. You can have any character be that character. We don't really need Jack Sparrow. I like Jack Sparrow. I love Jack Sparrow. I love his character. I love the randomness. Just all of it. He's funny, just the faces, all of it. I understand why you guys love Jack Sparrow. I don't hate Jack Sparrow. But my viewpoint, having Jack Sparrow does not, or not having Jack Sparrow does not kill these movies. It does not end Pirates of the Caribbean as a whole. It just simply doesn't. Because we can have so many, we don't even, and for you guys to say, for the ones who have said, like, Pirates of the Caribbean is dead if Jack Sparrow's not in it, you don't even know the characters that they might bring forward. They might bring forward somebody totally, obviously it would be new, but who would be so much better, who actually has story and actually is part of the story rather than just kind of brings everybody along with them or is just along for the ride, which is Jack Sparrow. So we don't even know what they might do yet, and you guys say that Pirates of the Caribbean is dead, and that's just kind of silly. If you love Pirates of the Caribbean, you should be willing to give them a chance to see what they might do. If it's horrible, I'll be the first one to say it. Trust me. And I'll know from the first trailer because we were able to call a lot of stuff. So I just wanted you guys to understand where we're coming from, and to understand, you can really love a main character. And when they're not in it, yeah, it sucks, trust me. It'll suck being in the next Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and it's not Jack Sparrow, and we'll all know it, and we'll all be like, man, what's this going to be like? But you want to know what? That's how I felt when I went in The Force Awakens, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Yeah, I knew Han Solo was in it, and I knew Leia was in it a little bit, but I knew they were only going to be in it like 10 minutes. But I gave them a chance. I put faith in Rey and Finn and Poe, and they're not that bad. I actually enjoyed the seventh movie. Eighth movie, I'm not going to talk about it. But the new characters, I gave a chance, and I think that they did a good job. So I'm going to be giving Pirates of the Caribbean a chance without Jack Sparrow, and I personally believe it'll be a much, much better movie without him.
You know, when you were saying that with Avengers and with, you know, the Marvel Universe in general, how they've really built something beyond just any of the individual characters. I think that's really what, and, you know, even with Stan Lee dying over the, you know, last week, we could talk about that, and that, you know, it's not just reliant on one or two characters. This is a universe. It's built around multiple characters. It's built around its lore. It's built around being like the superhero, you know, doing the right thing, all those kind of things, all those different themes. And I think, and Pirates is, you know, I think what they may have done wrong at some points, and again, you know, we went through what the franchise kind of relies on in each movie, or what they put the focus in. The only one you could even make an argument that it's focused on Jack is 4, and that movie just did not turn out well at all. You know, I think what some people think when they think of Pirates is maybe they put too much stock in Jack Sparrow as a character, and, you know, to their credit, or to that way of thinking, that is kind of a negative thing. A franchise should never be, an entire franchise should never be built on one standalone character. It should be built on the entire universe, kind of like Tyler was saying. And when it comes to this, I think a lot of people say that it's Jack, and what I hope the movies have done, and I do believe it too, and I think Tyler does too, is I think the movies have done more than just build one character in Jack Sparrow. They've shown they can have more characters throughout all the films. We've seen that just so recently as this last film, where they had new characters, Henry and Karina, which we talked about her a lot, is one of the best characters in that entire franchise. They built a fantastic character in Barbossa, and yes, the relationship with him and Jack was also what made him special, but, you know, him as a character was fantastic. They made Davy Jones one of the best villains, Tyler and I talk about, that we think are in movies. So they've done so many things. They've done supernatural things. They've worked with comedy. It's not just Jack that makes all the jokes. It's everybody. Everybody pitches in. You know, the action, the fighting sequences with supernatural things, the ship battles, which they've shied away from in recent movies. I feel like that's because of, you know, budget reasons, but sword fighting. There's things in these Pirates movies that are about pirates. It's about ship battles. It's about fighting. It's about the comedy. They want to have comedy. And, you know, if they're going to do this Deadpool kind of thing, they're the writers, you can bet that it's going to be a funny movie. So it's not just on one character. It's not just Jack Sparrow. Yes, he does help, and I agree with Tyler. I think no matter what, you're going to go in the first movie without any of these characters and say, you know, if you went into an Avengers movie or a Marvel movie and there's no Iron Man for the first time, you're gonna feel like something's missing. If you go into a Pirates, 6, but it's a reboot, so, you know, it's a new Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's no Jack Sparrow, the first time you see the movie, or the very first movie that comes out, you're gonna feel like there's a hole there. But you know what? It takes time, and you have to build a franchise. Like Tyler said, you know, Avengers doesn't just end when Captain America and Iron Man ends. That's not how you make billions and billions of dollars every single movie. That's not how they build a franchise. And this is all overseen by Disney: Pirates, Star Wars, Avengers, Marvel, all that stuff. So, you know, you would hope that if they have a plan, and if they want to reboot Pirates, and they want to make it something reoccurring, and have it be something that can last a long, long time, you can't just rely on one character. And I hope that they've done enough in the films for people to see that it's not just one character. I think it is for Tyler and I. I do think a lot of the fans, though, think it's just on one character, and that could actually be a problem going forward, but we'll have to see. So let us know in the comments below what you guys think of it. Will a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot be better without Jack Sparrow in it, and how do you think they would do that? Let us know. Again, these community series videos go up every other Friday. We're going to be continuing this, talking about soft reboots, talking about full-on reboots. We have tons of videos planned. We want to hear from you guys. If you want us to talk about something specific, we're all ears. And thank you guys, as always, for watching. We'll see you on the next video.